currently the middle of February, which means it is the off season for most theme parks around the US, unless you're lucky enough to live in like Florida or Southern California or something. But I'm lucky enough to live in East Tennessee, pretty close to the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville kind of area, Smoky Mountain area, where you have tons of mountain coasters and theme park adjacent attractions that operate year round there. Unfortunately, Dollywood does not, but hopefully they're heading that way soon. And unfortunately, that's probably not something I'll get to say for very much longer. For those of you that aren't aware, I probably shouldn't talk about my personal life as much, but I do sometimes, so oops. Currently going to school here, and I'm getting ready to graduate, and it looks like right now I'm pretty excited about the job opportunity I'm looking at right now, but that looks like it'll be very far away from this area. So this will be one of the last times that I'll be able to go experience these kind of Smoky Mountain attractions during the winter, which is certainly interesting because I haven't actually done most of that. Most of the time that I've gone over to that area, it's just been to go to Dollywood and then immediately come home. And I always kind of say, I've said for years that eventually I'll go check out some of those other attractions, and then I just kind of never did. Today I figured I would head over to Anakeesta in Gatlinburg, which is a little bit farther off the interstate than Pigeon Forge, just past there, closer to the actual Smoky Mountains National Park. Gatlinburg's kind of a mountain town that I remember liking it better, but it's been quite a while since I've been there, so I'm excited to get back there. Anakeesta is a pretty new, I believe it opened in 2017, I guess you could call it, mountaintop resort that sits on one of the hills overlooking Gatlinburg, and you take like a aerial tram thing up there, very similar to Gatlinburg, which is again a similar concept also in Gatlinburg that opened in like the 80s. Again, never been to Anakeesta, always kind of meant to. It looks right up my alley in terms of things I enjoy even outside of a theme park environment, and they have two mountain coasters there, a single rail mountain coaster and a normal like Wiegand, however you pronounce it, mountain coaster, just like all the other ones in the area. But the single rail one is pretty unique, and I keep being told by people that it's like absolutely insane. I don't really get it. I've watched POVs, it doesn't look that crazy to me, but everybody I hear that's ridden it says it's like the wildest mountain coaster ever. I just met some enthusiasts at Fun Spot Atlanta like 2 weeks ago that were telling me about how I have to go ride that, so I'm going anyway. Anakeesta looks like a really fun place. But yeah, it's already pretty late in the afternoon because I decided to get some work done this morning like a responsible person. And Anakeesta is about an hour away from me right now, so I better go ahead and get driving. Alright, welcome to Gatlinburg. It's been a long time since I've been here, and I do just like this area a lot better than Pigeon Forge for a variety of reasons. I just end up going to Pigeon Forge because that's where Dollywood is. Anyways, there's the chairlift I'm about to take up to the top of the mountain in a minute. It's maybe a while though, because long line. Here's kind of the pavilion for Anakeesta that's on the main parkway. I was able to snag a spot in Anakeesta's parking lot here, which is actually pretty hard to do from what I've heard. I was worried I'd have to park somewhere else, but I don't know how much it costs, so I'm about to find out. Alright, it costs $20 to park in Anakeesta's lot, which is not fantastic, I don't guess, considering most of Pigeon Forge is free parking. You do have to pay in most of Gatlinburg, so again, $20 here, but it is all day. You can stay as long as you want. So anyways, this is kind of, I guess, the north end of the parkway. There's a lot of more stuff down there, but it's not as, walkable town-y. Got Anakeesta here, and then if we continue, there's the aquarium, which is probably like the biggest attraction here, and then downtown Gatlinburg, which goes for like maybe a mile and a half that way. So, just for locational context. I don't actually know what that is, that yellow chairlift to the top of that hill. Alright, that was a very long ticket line. It took me like 30-45 minutes to get my tickets. They do have both ticket windows open. It's just, a lot of people. Yeah, look at that. That's the line just to get tickets. I'm gonna go up here and see if their gift shop on the strip here has restrooms. Alright, the restrooms at the bottom of the mountain are behind the gift shop, not in the gift shop. If you ever need that information, there you go. There are several trees around that are actually cell phone towers. I just think that's funny. You can, then the line splits off. You can choose whether you want to ride up in the cabins or the chairs. Chairs will be a lot faster because there's a lot more of them, which is what I want to do. But just so you all know, I am not going to be filming on the way up right now, most likely, because I just got a brand new phone a couple days ago, so I literally cannot afford to drop it right now. If I drop it, I can't afford a new one. So definitely Definitely probably not going to be recording anything, but you know.
You got a group in front of you already.
Alright, I made it. Yeah, so I think that is the scariest chairlift I've ever ridden. It's also very cold up here. It's like 30 degrees up here, and my hands are numb. You can barely see the Gatlinburg Strip way down there. Crazy. Over there you can see the aerial tram over Gatlinburg. So it's probably like twice as high as this, but you're in a proper aerial tram rather than a chairlift. Alright, I'm hungry and I was immediately greeted with food, so you'll never guess what I'm doing. Wait, first, it looks like there's a balcony up here. This place is just really cool from what I've seen, and even just like the 10 seconds I've been here so far. Oh my gosh. My lord. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that view. There's the, I think that's the single rail mountain coaster. Oh yeah. It goes way down there. Very fun. There's a bar here overlooking this canyon. You can see Gatlinburg right over there. Alright, I just got my barbecue sandwich for lunch slash dinner slash whatever. I'm in this little indoor patio, which as you can see it's heated. But if it's a warmer day, you can go outside. You can still go outside, but nobody's going out there. They've salted everything significantly, but yeah, look at that view. Insane. So you can see here the chairlift goes all the way. You can actually kind of see how it gets all the way down to the parking lot there. So it was a very long chairlift. So I timed it on my stopwatch just for fun. It took about 23 minutes for me to get from the bottom to the top. I was told by a guy at the top here, like an employee, that the actual runtime from the top to bottom or bottom to top, whatever, the runtime of the chairlift is 18 minutes if they don't have to stop, but they were stopping a lot to let passengers on and off, which was honestly one of the most terrifying parts of it, because it would just like stop, and when it stops it kind of starts bouncing in the wind. It's kind of scary. Sorry, it's very cold up here. In addition to the chairlift though, they also have, you can wait longer to ride up in one of those like gondolas that would be less scary, and there's also a like shuttle bus thing up here if you just are scared of heights. I am scared of heights, surprisingly enough, but I find that a little bit fun, just to kind of poke at that a little bit. It's funny because I ride roller coasters so much, but those like heights don't scare me. Like I can go 300 feet on a coaster and not even think about it. Like Fury is not scary to me at all, but this chairlift was for sure. I don't actually know what the elevation change on here is, but it is kind of spooky. Actually like separated in different areas, so started there, now we're here in Firefly Village, I guess. So there's the restaurant I just ate at, the single rail mountain coaster is here, and then also the zip line, which is an upcharge as well. I probably won't do that today. You come up in the Black Bear Village, which I'm not really sure what's there. There's a key. Okay, so I guess just some food. Oh, and a stage, so I guess that's where they're shows are. Then you get into Vista Gardens, which is the like giant observation tower thing that I'm hoping to watch the sunset from. That'd be pretty cool. And the very back's Stony Village, which is where the other more normal mountain coaster is. So that's kind of your general layout there. As much as I do love a good zip line, and their zip line course actually looks pretty awesome. You travel kind of under it while you're on the chairlift. It is a, I think, $55 upcharge for the zip line, which is a lot. So admission is, I think, $35, And then to ride both coasters, I think it's like $18, and that lets you ride both of them. So $50 on top of that for the zip lines, like a lot. I know zip lines are usually expensive, but so I'll probably save that for another day if I ever come back. I was able to they have a deal right now for if you're a Tennessee resident, you can get like basically a season pass for the price of like 1-day ticket. So I did that. So should be able to come back at some point. Restaurants with bottle filling stations. And here's Rail Runner. This was the only mountain coaster when it opened. It's the single rail one. And here's like a test seat, I guess. I love how they have this whole little facade set up for the test seat. So yeah, there you go. 30 minutes for Rail Runner, 20 minutes for Hellbender. So I better go ahead and get in line for these if I'm going to do them, because it's getting pretty late pretty quick. So another thing with the Tennessee Resident Pass, heading down into the queue here, it's kind of weird. You're like walking, it feels like you're walking backstage here. But anyways, like I said, it's like $18 to ride the two coasters. I was just told if you have the Tennessee Residence Pass, it actually includes one ride on each coaster, and that's just already on the card, and then you get 20% off any additional rides for the rest of the year. So it's actually a really good deal for Tennesseans like myself. Sorry to everybody else that doesn't get that deal. Alright, it says this is about 30 minutes late. We'll see if that's true or not. Looks like not that many people, but it's only one person per cart, and they don't seem to be loading very fast, so we'll see. I just did Rail Runner, the single rail alpine coaster, mountain coaster, whatever. I understand why people talk about this the way they do now. That was kind of insane, for lack of a better word. I see somebody going now. I don't know how fast they're going to take it, but look at how steep that like kind of first little drop after this turn is. You just kind of, she's going to break a lot down it. Yeah, so, man. Pretty much every other mountain coaster I've ridden feels like incredibly safe, at least to me. This one, so I don't know if you can kind of see the seats there. There's really almost no sides to the seats whatsoever. It's just the seatbelts holding you in laterally. And this coaster focuses a lot on really tight lateral turns, which if you're taking at full speed, you get like slammed into the side of the seatbelt. It's really like the only thing holding you in. If you know me, I never brake on mountain coasters. Like every mountain coaster I've ever ridden before now, I go full speed all the way down. This is the first one where, not this one, where there's even steeper drops and tighter turns later. You know, I actually had to brake a little bit, not too much, but I did brake a little bit just because I felt like I was going to go flying out the side of the train. I didn't feel like the seatbelts were going to hold me. I don't think that's necessarily my favorite like alpine coaster, just because well, A, it's very short. Like I said, it focuses a lot on steep drops, so the elevation change is pretty big. I don't think I really realized till the end of the ride just how far down I had traveled, and you get to the final lift. I'll try to link somebody else's POV or something, because obviously I wasn't able to record one, but you start here at the top of the mountain, you work your way down, and then the end is just a lift back up, and you get to that lift hill, and then you're like, whoa, that's a really steep lift. We really went down there. I'd say you get like 2/3 of the way down, you know, from where you started. So like 2/3 of the way down, like the chairlift elevation would be about my estimate, which is a lot. But unfortunately, because of the speed, it is a very short one. I'd say you get maybe, I think, 3 or 4 steep drops and then 5 or 6 like tight turns, and then that's kind of it. But yeah, and the other thing is just the comfort factor. It's very jerky because a lot of those turns are so tight. Kind of the whole point why it's so insane is that it's just designed in such a way that you know, just hit those turns really tight and get thrown out the side of the thing. Because of that, a lot of the transitions are a little rough and janky. It's just not as comfortable of an experience as most other alpine coasters I've ridden, so it's definitely the most thrilling mountain coaster I've done. I just don't know if it's my favorite. Yeah, I was trying to get some more good footage of at least that first turn and drop there. That's really all that you can see from within the park, but unfortunately, like everybody I was getting footage of is just riding the brakes down that. I was trying to get some footage of it flying down it, but you know, that's okay. That's all right. I know I said I'm gonna try to do more like review type videos, probably starting with attractions I've ridden most recently, just because I have the most up-to-date thoughts on them. But I feel like for Rail Runner here, I did not get a good enough feel of it from one ride to really, you know, give it like a review. So don't expect that anytime soon. Not sure what's going on here. They got construction walls on the main path here, and just that. Whatever any of this is. So I don't know. I didn't see any signage on what this is. Looks like it will be like could be a lot of things. Looks like it might be like a shade structure for a sitting area. I don't know. We'll see when it's done. Like that they have signs like safe viewing distance from bears. And something I have noticed is like all of the like trash cans up here in this park are like bear-proof trash cans like you would see at campgrounds. It's definitely interesting. But we are up in the mountains in Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg's got a lot more bears than Pigeon Forge and Sevierville do, and we're up on the mountain here, so it does make sense. But still, just not really something I thought about till I got here. Yeah, so here's what they're like, the bear-proof trash cans here. There's something I want to do later too. That's free, not an upcharge like the coasters and stuff. Just part of admission. You can walk through this like suspended bridge through the trees down there, which is really cool. It's so cold, we got the ice all around the waterfall. It looks like this is usually a splash pad when it's not winter time. I'm not sure, but that's what it appears to be. Look at this. That's a crazy view. Especially with the snow and everything. So I think I'm definitely running out of time today, so I know I'm gonna have to come back another day to do a lot of the other stuff I want to do here. But another day it's not going to be snowy like this, probably. So it's definitely a special treat for this weekend only, I guess. Anyways, this is Black Bear Village, the second area. No shows today on the stage. You can see there's like a quick service restaurant here. I believe that's the sit-down restaurant, though I could be wrong. I'm going to go ahead and proceed on here. It is interesting they kind of separated into different areas, even though it's a pretty consistent theme throughout in a pretty small area, pretty small park overall. So you see a little bus stop logo. This is the boarding for the little tram thing that takes you up and down the mountain if you don't want to use the chairlift because you're afraid of heights or whatever, which is totally valid. So there's that. So I think it runs every 10 minutes if I remember correctly. Third of the four areas, which is Vista Gardens. You can see the main attraction here is the giant observation tower thing. There you go. Observation tower thing at the very top. That looks actually pretty awesome. It looks much more impressive than I thought it was going to actually. But we'll see once I get up there. I'm gonna go do the other coaster first to make sure I get the credit. It's a more traditional, normal alpine coaster in the very back here. Everything's all iced over, but it's a really cool look. It's definitely cool being here in the winter right after it snowed. This is another upcharge. They definitely like their upcharges here. It's called Astra Lumina. It's like a walk-through trail thing with lights from what I understand. Park closes at 7 tonight, so I guess this would be after closing, but basically it says 30 minutes after sunset. When it opens up, you walk through and it's some kind of like immersive light show experience trail thing. Anyways, gonna proceed this way. I believe this is the path that goes back to where Hellbender is. So we're gonna I'll find out. Hopefully it's back here. If not too much to backtrack. This is a pretty small park up here, so no biggie. Little playground structure type thing that looks like it's for both kids and adults, which is always fun to see. Love that kind of stuff. That looks like a more camp-based place over there on the left. As I'm coming across the bridge, we're getting to the very, very back of the park here. All right, yep, I believe this is the newest area of the park back here with Hellbender. Hellbender's right there. Well, I've got a bad angle where you can't see the sign. We'll go over there in just a second. So we got another show stage back here, and then some what looked like just like food trucks set up, and then they have like temporary like porta potty bathrooms back here instead of, the bathrooms near the front of the park are just used are super nice. So I guess everything here back here feels a little bit more temporary, but hopefully they do plan to keep expanding. I really like what they've got so far, and just the idea of this place is really cool. I do wish I had come here a lot earlier, and not necessarily because there's that much to do here. I kind of thought there's not much to do here or whatever. It's not that there is a ton to do here, it's just that what is here is like, so from what I've experienced so far, I would use the word high quality. Just the experience of being up here, like I could just sit in one of those rocking chairs or whatever, look out the view, and I could just chill here pretty much all day. So again, it's pretty small up here, not a ton to do necessarily if you're just looking to check out boxes, but it's definitely more of a place that seems to just like come and hang out, which for that, you know, I think the execution's like perfect. Throughout this area, there's a lot of, you know, kind of ride a chairlift up to the top of the mountain and hang out up there type of places, but this is definitely the best execution of that I've experienced so far, in my personal opinion. Oh my gosh. Here we go, just entered the queue for Hellbender, so it's about 20 minutes. I've been told this is a pretty light day. Usually the lines for the coasters can apparently get to like 2.5, 3 hours most days. Is what I was told by one of the employees, which is kind of insane. So keep that in mind. Kind of got lucky on a less busy day because it's February and it's very cold, as you can probably tell from all the snow and ice everywhere. But yeah, so there's Hellbender. Also kind of feels like it's back in a backstage area here, but yeah. Alright, just rode a Hellbender, the newer alpine coaster. It's a Wiegand, or I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Wiegand, probably, but nobody ever says it right. Second generative, the newest gen is alpine coaster, so super nice, super smooth, surprisingly technologically advanced. Like it's got auto braking if another sled comes in too close, and you know all those fancy features. Hey, you got to exit through a gift shop for this one. Oh, but it looks like you can actually get a view of the coaster over here. That's cool. I like that a lot of the mountain coasters in the Smoky Mountain area have better merch or more merch than a lot of actual coasters at actual theme parks. So anyways, I would say Hellbender is objectively a much better ride than Rail Runner. One of the ride-offs was telling somebody, and I liked this description, it's like Rail Runner is like an 80s Civic. Like it still runs, but it's a little dated, a little janky, whereas this would be like a brand new, I don't know, what's a really nice car. I forget what he said, but that was a good comparison. Again, a lot of coaster enthusiasts talk about Rail Runner just because it is so unique and so insane, for lack of a better word. You hit a lot of those turns and get like the wildest laterals, but it's not exactly super comfortable. It's rough, it's short. This one's not the longest mountain coaster in the area by a long shot. There are a lot that are much, much longer than this. I wouldn't say this is short. It's kind of middle of the road in terms of length, whereas Rail Runner is like really short. But this is a lot smoother, much more comfortable. And I think, again, I would have to ride these again at some point. Hopefully I'll be able to come back again before the end of this semester. I have the annual pass and, you know, get extra rides on both of them because Hellbender I have a pretty good feel on. I need to ride a Rail Runner again just because it was so not what I expected, even with the reputation it had. It's just so different from any other mountain coaster in the area. That's the thing with Hellbender here. It's objectively like a better ride. It's smoother, it's more comfortable. I guess you don't get the same kind of crazy laterals, but I still found it overall to be a more enjoyable experience. But at the same time, it's pretty similar to like all the other vegan mountain coasters in this area, and there's a lot. Within like 20 to 30 minutes of here, you could probably get on like a lot of other rides like that. So whereas Rail Runner, it's like you can't ride something like that like anywhere else in the country, much less within 20 or 30 minutes of here. So Rail Runner gets the uniqueness points and I guess the intensity points just for pure stupid laterals, but I still think I slightly prefer Hellbender just for being a more comfortable ride overall and being a little bit longer. But again, I need to ride Rail Runner again at some point just to get a better feel of it. I'm gonna go back this kind of other way that I haven't gone down before. Before I was on the bridge down there, I didn't know there was a path up here you could go down. So to get over to the main observation tower for Anakeesta up there. Unfortunately, the park closes at 7, which is in about, 30 minutes, I think, so gonna head up. I was hoping to catch the sunset from up here. I thought that would be crazy beautiful, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're getting much of a sunset tonight. It's just been getting darker, and I don't see any colors, so that's unfortunate. So there's kind of a view of the whole place from up here. There's the entrance and chairlift way over there, and then it comes all the way around here. That's where we've already walked. So, I mean, it's not tiny, but it's not a large place either. It's still pretty small. It's very unique. There's not much else like this out there. Like I said, there's a lot of things trying to emulate this in the Smoky Mountains. I don't think any of them nail it quite as much as this does based on my limited experience. 2 or 3 hours I've been here. I got 20 minutes, so I'm going to see if I can grab a hot chocolate and then head up to the top of this observation tower until they tell us I have to leave. So it's the Anakeesta Tower. I guess it opened in 2020. I know this park opened in, I think, 2017. So this came a few years after, I suppose. All right, there's a bit of a line for hot chocolate, at least at the place right here. So I decided to pass on that for now in favor of trying to get as much time to view from this tower as I can. So like I said, the park closes in about 20 minutes. So I didn't know how long exactly it was gonna take to get the hot chocolate. Wow. I'm like a flight out of 3 out the tower. We've already got some incredible views here, especially with everything starting to light up at night. Wow. Alright, just got up the stairs. Very nice. Beautiful up here, wow. You can see like the directions on the different wood things here, cardinal directions, which is cool. I guess this is what the mountains you can see from here. There's a little bit of the sunset colors over there, disappearing a little bit. I thought it would be a more impressive sunset. Maybe I should have to come a different time of year. It's pretty cloudy today too, so that doesn't help. They even got the glass floors here on the south and north sides. So these usually scare me. I'll do them. They scare me. Yeah. Alright, this one's actually not too bad. I did one at the top of the Tower Bridge in London. That was probably the scariest one I did, but it was still pretty awesome. Yeah, they're like so covered in salt right now. This whole platform is, I guess, because I didn't want it to freeze over and people to slip. But anyways, you can see down there in the woods, down there, that bridge is the treetop trail thing that I wanted to do, but I don't think I'll be able to today. Actually, I might be able to go down there. I got about 10 minutes till the park closes. So I can probably go walk through there at night in just a second. I might go do that before I leave. Alright, as much as I don't want to come down from up here because the view is just incredible, I do want to go see that, do that treetop walk thing before the park closes. So I'm going to go on down to do that. But yeah, no, I've only been here a couple hours, but really enjoyed my time here. Like I said, this is exactly my kind of place, you know. Coasters and stuff aside, I could just sit out here and hang out here like all day. It's really amazing here. As cool as this place was during the day, as soon as it hit nighttime, like man, all of their lighting And their music even changes a bit for nighttime. It's all just incredible. Really incredible. I'm trying to figure out how I get back down right now. Oh, that's advantage. Okay, so this is like a little switchback ramp thing down from the tower back to the main path. It's very cool. Very cool. Alright, Truce Off Skywalk. This should take us take me kind of back to the front of the park anyway. To get the chairlift back down. We'll see. I might try to wait to get a normal cabin this time. Not just because it'll be less scary, but also then I'll actually be able to film. Because I do not trust myself to film on the, especially since this is a brand new phone and I literally can't afford another one right now. I don't want to take it out on the open chairlift. It's just an accident waiting to happen there. We're heading down the stairs, approaching the first bridge here. So it looks like a bunch of like suspended bridges through the woods. It'll actually be pretty cool at night, especially seeing Gatlinburg lit up down there. So yeah, maybe it's a good thing I waited until night to do this. Although I would like to do it during the day at some point as well. It's very bouncy. Alright. Don't put more than 8 people on the bridge. That's a lot of people for one small bridge. Surprisingly long experience here. I didn't realize how long the bridge was. Coming up to the chairlifts here. There they are. As you can see, another one of the reasons they're so scary and also that it takes so long is they move really slow. You can kind of tell there. That's about as fast as they ever go. It's just a little bit terrifying, but alright, so there's the whole thing. It's actually much longer than I thought it would be, but very fun, very cool. And now the park is closed. Oh yeah, of course. So it's now about 20 minutes after closing time, but there's still lots of people hanging around. I saw some people going up to the observation tower and stuff. So that's kind of weird that they're not telling anybody to leave yet. All the attractions are closed and the restaurants and shops are closed, so. Okay, I just looked at the website, and the website says that closing times reflect when the attractions close, and then the last chairlift down the mountain is an hour after closing time. So I guess you can kind of, if it says close at 7, there's not really anything to do, but you can just kind of walk around and take in the views until maybe like 8:45, I don't know. Apparently the chairlift runs for a full hour afterward, and they don't kick anybody out. All right, I think I'm gonna be brave and just do the chair again instead of the cabin, because there's a decent little wait for a cabin, and I don't really want to be smushed in with some other people right now, although the chairs will probably be kind of terrified going down, but it'll be a nice view at least. But again, I won't show you because I don't want to risk dropping my phone right now. Alright, made it back down. I always think, for some reason for me, the way back down is always easier than the way up on chairlifts like that, so, you know, it's still a little spooky. But, yeah, still took about like 16 minutes, so just because of how long it is, and also it is pretty high up, if you are kind of spooked of heights, it's probably not a, not one you want to try out first, at least. Anyways, apparently the aquarium's open for another 2 hours. I went through this when I was like a little kid, and I remember really liking it, but I don't remember much about it, so I kind of want to go through it again. So I'm going to go do that while I'm literally right here and already paid to park and everything. This is such a silly idea. It's 8 p.m. I'm about to walk into an aquarium, but I looked up, they're open until 10. So we'll see if I can like speed run it here. I don't remember exactly. It's a pretty big aquarium, so I don't know if you can get through it in 2 hours. We're about to find out. It's cool. I haven't seen this in any other aquariums. There's this window here where you can look in and see all the equipment for treating the water and such. I remember I thought that was one of the coolest parts when I was a kid. So I guess that's just something about me and, you know, where I am in life now. But it's kind of funny, they haven't painted all these like kind of neon-y colors that I'm sure it's only painted that way because it's viewable here. The scratches you see are the result of a shark attack on December 15th, year 2000. Alright, Aquarium of the Smokies is done. It's definitely interesting. Since it is Ripley's, it's a little bit, you know, a little campy, for lack of a better word. I think nowadays I'm an old fart, and I probably prefer a little bit more of a serious aquarium, for lack of a better words. But there's still some really cool exhibits in there. The shark tunnel's still cool. A lot of it just kind of has a little bit of a dated feel right now to me. Yeah, especially if you have kids, I would definitely recommend that. It was $40, I think. It took me about an hour to get through it, but I also wasn't, you know, stopping to look at stuff for very long, so. Yeah, no, I got a pretty stinking good parking spot for Anakeesta. I think it's right there, right here. That was the only one that was open when I came in here, so lucky me, I guess. Anyways, I did really enjoy Anakeesta. It was just beautiful, for lack of a better word. And like I said, I could have spent all day up there. Yeah, for a lot of people say that it's overpriced. I would have to disagree when you're considering the type of experience that it offers. You can't think of it the same way you would think about like a normal theme park. Then, of course, it is overpriced, but it's not what it is at all. So, but for the experience it's offering, if you are willing to do it, what I'd say is the right way, I do think it's worth it. If you're just going to go up there to ride 2 mountain coasters and leave, then no, probably not worth it. But if you're going to take the time to sit up there, kind of walk around, take in the views, sit, relax, you know, all that kind of stuff, then I think it's worth it. So that's just kind of my 2 cents after a very quick visit there. You know, as for everything else, I was just really impressed. The only thing is the wait times are usually pretty dang long. And even today was apparently shorter than usual. So if you are planning to come here, build yourself a lot of time for that. But, you know, again, I've done a couple of these, like ride a chairlift or something to the top of a mountain and then relax up there kind of experiences that are around this area. And I do think this is the best one I've done so far. That's my personal opinion. Everyone's going to have their own personal preference. But I think if you're looking for something like that, this is the best.